Welcome to Skarn. This is a land that has been built up, fought over, raised and built up again numerous times across the ages. The peoples are hardy and tough, the land is unforgiving and harsh, and the deities gone from the world. After the Divine War, the divine races and the redeemed had a truce, but that has run up, and the shorter-lived races view the Divine War as a distant memory. Skarn is changing, and along with it, our heroes. I bid thee greetings, redeemed and divine races, Titan spawn and ancient ones. I am Patrick, known the winds of change and the beaks of birds as Patty Shakes _, and I am the game master for this story. This is session 5 of Dracogenesis, Titan's Lament, taking place in Scarred Lands, a setting published by Onyx Path Publishing. This is an awesome adventure brought to you by Vorpal Tales. You can find Vorpal Tales on lots of places on the internet. Of course, we are on Twitch, right here, right now. Consider giving us a follow or subscribe. Check out Twitter, where we tweet daily at Vorpal Tales. A Facebook and Instagram, where you get great pictures of all our casts and GMs outside of the tabletop. A website, vorpaltales.com, where you get all the latest news about everything we are doing and see our up-to-date calendars. A Patreon, where if you feel so inclined, you can toss a coin to us in order to make more, better, and Vorpal-tailier content. You can join the wonderful other Snicker Snacks and Slavy Troves like Weapon M, Don Arnetto, and David. Finally, a Discord, where you can come hang out with us awesome humans and discuss all kinds of topics or play video games with us. I would like to thank Onyx Path Publishing for making an incredible world and setting to use to amaze and delight. Also to Astral Tabletop for being our virtual tabletop and platform for our players to roll their dice. Additionally to N8 Mid for the fantastic character sheet he created for this game. A thank you goes to Vinsfect, a wonderful YouTube channel that has amazing music to set your adventure to. Love goes to Love Your Rebellion, a non-profit group that empowers marginalized groups through the arts. Please be sure to check out their website, loveyourrebellion.org. Additionally, Vorpal Tales has some new sponsors we would love to tell you about. First is QUEmpire.com, a small company making original dice and products for your favorite RPGs and card games. Next is the Deck of Many, known for their various reference cards, but also for creating the Humblewood and Hecna campaign settings. Visit vorpaltales.com, click on our affiliate link, and anything you purchase, a portion of it will benefit the show. And now, dear viewers, meet our intrepid adventurers who look to explore, spelunk, socialize, and bring about their own influence onto the world of Skarn. Please, state your name, where people can find you on the internet, and who you will be playing tonight.
People of the internet, I am Dwayne, found on the internet at Made of Kimchi, and tonight I will be playing Susa, the now level 3 Battlesmith Artificer.
Hey everybody, I'm Ever. My pronouns are they, them, and you can find me all over the internet as Changeling Ever. And tonight I shall be playing Yanei, who is still discovering themselves, so therefore does not yet have pronouns.
Hello everybody, I'm Pinky, and tonight I'm playing Turhana, whose pronouns are she, her, and just recently leveled up, now level 1 Barbarian, level 2 in Rogue.
I believe that's me. Hello everybody, I am Steve. You can find me on the internet at Voodoo Arcade, and tonight I will be playing Le Malfoon, who is now getting his second level of Wizard.
And I am Devin. You can find me online at Sorta Sullied, and tonight I am playing Gar, the Paladin, who is also level 3 Redemption Oath. And you are muted, Patty.
Click the button. Thank you, adventurers. Now, before we forget ourselves and escape for a little while into a realm of sword and sorcery, here in the world today, many people are struggling with very real matters and combating their own monsters. February is a month of health awareness. It is American Heart Month. February is not just for in-love hearts, but healthy hearts. Make sure you're mitigating your risk of heart disease. Hand in hand, it is also National Self-Check Month. Selfcheck.org, self-check without the K.org, a ton of resources available to you to check yourself for a variety of common chronic diseases and conditions. The very important Black Lives Matter movement is also still going on. It is especially important this month as it is also Black History Month. We ask that you educate yourselves about icons and individuals who've helped shape history, culture, politics that you may be ignorant to, and work with your fellow humans to better the world. As Thurgood Marshall, the first African-American Supreme Court justice, said, "Where you see wrong or inequality or injustice, speak out, because this is your country. This is your democracy. Make it, protect it, pass it on." And now, before you gaze further into the story of these adventurers, allow our paladin to remind you of what they have already conquered and overcome.
Last session, after Belsmith grossed us out and then knocked us out, we awoke outside of her temple and decided that we would just return to the Knob Goblin for the night and focus on preventing Morbo from being brought back. We ate our breakfast and then headed off on Jillian's advice to Kent's Curio for some supplies, where we encountered Kent trying to round up one of his rowdy children into their high chair of holding. Following this, Susa gave Kent a list of goods to purchase. You hear a crash in the back, which informs them that he apparently has more than one child, and comes back with 2 more, and a bag of goods for Susa. Malthun asks him to procure some healing potions and finds possibly the oldest healing potions in existence, so he can get them for half price. Not finding any manacles or cold iron, the group then heads off to rip, tear, and repair to the local blacksmith and finds Metalhead Miles. After rummaging through some of his fun sets of manacles for the worshippers of Idra, he gets a real set for Gar and informs Susa that the only special items he does are made to order. Without wanting to do so, the group then decides to set out on the road. An hour out, Yine spots a nest that appears to have been caved in with either rat or flesh stripper babies in it. Malthun looks around, finds their apparent dead parents in this, and it is not a ridiculously complex trap either set by animals or bandits. And while the group is determining whether they are in fact cute little rats or lethal murderous flesh strippers, Gar reaches in and grabs one, and tests whether or not it is by giving it a finger. He believes it's safe, and he keeps it as a pet. Yine then takes out a ration pack and gives the remainder of the food, in hopes that they do survive. As we leave the young beings, Yine spots an old woman out of the corner of her eye with a hooked nose, but the woman vanishes immediately after. Leaving the rest, the group then continues on and finds another group who have tied up one of their comrades. While they are arguing, we leave Yine to watch over us while we go to talk to them and see if the cause of their being tied up is just. Tied up one states that he has a girlfriend who is a priestess of Idra and got sick, and that he only stole from his friends to get money for a cleric to heal her. While both Gar and Malthun highly doubt that a priestess of Idra could not get a healing from their own temple, the man states they don't have any clerics. Well, Tarhana planned on helping him out, but after he continually interrupts her, she decides she's just going to give the rest of the group 20 gold each and tells him he should have shut up. We also ensure that the group isn't going to kill him, and we go on our way. About an hour after this, we get to the end of the main road. We leave the main road and go through the Blood Hills and are promptly ambushed by a bunch of bandits who only want our food. Yine tries to reason with them, and they seem not to care, only telling us that we must give them all our food. Gar decides he's going to try and scare the whole group away by commanding the leader to flee, which only causes the rest of the bandits to attack us. Tarhana tears through all of her opponents. Malthun gives Yine a lesson in human anatomy, as well as stating that her education had failed her long ago. Leaving 2 alive, as Gar did not finish off any of the opponents, or kill the opponents he finished off, we tied them up. Susa searches them and finds a few magic items, a diary, and 50 gold. Diary begins with intelligent dialogue explaining their travels, though about a week ago, according to the journal, the writing becomes less intelligible until it becomes So hungry. Must. Food. Such starve. Following several pages are bitten out. We realize that they are corrupt beyond saving, and so we dispatch them with as little pain as we could manage. And as the curtains draw for to close, Gar also sees the old woman out of the corner of his eyes, the same exact one that Yane spotted, we believe, and then vanishes, just the same.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Gar, for that wonderful recap. So yes, our adventurers had just finished the ordeal of humanely, but still having to kill fellow humans just like them. They see that it is getting late, the sun setting on the horizon, and must have the debate of whether or not to stop and camp out in the open where they are, continue a little bit further, perhaps find a little bit of shelter, or travel through the night. We will pick up with our group as they walk along the general path that Yane and Terhana lead them on.
Who wants this other ring?
A ring?
What does it do again?
It was a pair of rings
Oh.
that I'm gonna wear one, and if somebody else wears one, you have to attune to it, and we can always find each other.
I believe this would be a thing that Terhana would probably get, because
Agreed.
the two of you are kind of in cahoots all the time, and Terhana is highly protective of you.
Hana just kind of like squints, like, what do you mean by that? But doesn't say anything and just takes the ring and just kind of gives a slight smile. But it looks like kind of like a weird smile because like half her fang comes out and it looks intimidating. But since Susa knows better, like hopefully, that it's like not a malicious smile.
That toothy grin.
Exactly. If you don't know Terhana, it looks like, oh my gosh, she's gonna eat me. But she will happily take this ring. Go put it in my notes. Thank you, oh my god, that was really weird. Thank you kindly. I can't words.
And I believe that Yane should be getting those boots if we didn't.
Yes.
Oh, I guess my shoes are kind of. I could have used new shoes anyway. Thanks. I think. But will they fit?
Well, you could put them on and try.
Just in the middle of where they are, Yane plops down and puts on the boots. Hey, whoever wore these before were my size, apparently. It works.
It's funny how magical boots work.
Yeah.
They're always the right size.
Susa looks up at the sky. Or they were meant for you.
Thank you, my slithery friend.
Well, the child sat down, so I think it's time for us to take a break for the night.
Yes, I do believe after our encounter, rest would be good. Though I leave it, of course, up to our two wilderness experts to find us safe lodging.
Yes, I think we should make sure that we're in a good spot first.
Yeah, would we do observation or
Survival.
perception or survival for this?
One of the working together, one of you can give me your survival check at advantage to determine,
Okay.
if where you are is a good spot, or if you can see somewhere from here that might work.
I
What's
have
your?
a 4 in both perception and survival.
It's just survival.
Okay, just a 4 then.
I have a 5 in survival.
Okay.
Survival.
Nice. So you've got 1 ahead of me, so it would probably be better if you rolled it.
You want to rethink that?
Can we pretend that didn't happen?
No. Sometimes you're just gonna fail. But not... So, you're both working together. You look around, and you're like, we're out in the open. There's no cover. It's starting to get a little cold. We need a fire. But if we lit a fire out here, like, it's going to attract anything that's out here. So you're not like... You are both, you are of the steppes, Terhana. You are a ranger, Yane. It's not like rolling a 1, you're automatically like stupid and like, oh yeah, no, this seems like a great place. But you don't immediately spot anywhere that would be a good place. But you do know that stopping here, not an option. This is essentially just an open area that any predator of the steppes would make an easy meal out of you guys.
Well, I think we should keep moving for now.
Yeah, the sun hasn't fully set yet, so you're not like in danger of like the super nighttime predators yet. But traveling, more than an hour at this point is gonna start getting dangerous once you're past an hour at this point.
So you said that it's basically flatland right here. Is there a direction that's like hilly?
Yeah, I mean, so it's the steppes.
Cavernous.
So it's the steppes, so it is like, relatively hilly everywhere. This just happens to where these bandits ambushed you kind of happens to be like one of the lower areas. This is almost like a designed kind of easy place to get it, an ambush on somebody, because you could just have long sight lines and things like that. But yeah, and as Yune and Terhana, basically at this point they're like, we don't really see anywhere immediately that jumps out at us, so the only direction really is just kind of to follow their memory instincts that Belsmith kind of gave them jointly, and where they both are kind of agreeing that the way forward does lead towards more hills and more steps, although technically you could walk any direction 360 degrees and head towards a hill. So yeah, so you guys travel for a bit longer. One of you, the two of you working together again, one of you can roll at advantage. Give me a perception check this time.
I will
You're
take
trying to
this
find
one.
your path. You know the path innately. You just need to see if you can spot something.
22.
22. All right, so you travel for about another 30 to 40 minutes, and it's at this point, Terhana does not fear anything, but you were born and raised on the steppes. There are very dangerous obstacles and hazards that will manifest themselves at night. So it's kind of one of those things where it's just like, nothing scares me, but I really don't want to spend a night just blindly trudging through the steppes. But as you kind of come around around a hill, and it's almost, you miss it almost because the sun has set at this point and you're kind of walking by dark vision and torches. There's this very small narrow path that winds between two rises, and you can see some smoke coming out of it. It's like the small, not like a fire, not like an uncontrolled forest fire, but the steady smoke of maybe a campfire or a chimney or something of that sort. Definitely a tended to fire.
Terhana will want to avoid that as possible, even though it might seem like a good invite. You don't trust anyone when traveling. Maybe scout ahead to see if there's a way to avoid whoever's out there, or do a concession vote of should we try to attempt to talk to whoever's there?
Does it seem like this is the easier path?
It seems like this is the most defensible kind of area to make rest in the immediate vicinity without traveling any further. The rest of it is, you don't really see any overhangs or shelters or caves or anything like that, and you don't see any kind of on the path, and it is dark at this point. So it's either kind of continue along, hopefully stumble across something else, or this is really the first kind of safer area you've found, like in the last 40 minutes of traveling.
So in 40 minutes, we found one safe place, and people are already camping there. It seems like.
Yeah, it's something has created a controlled fire. You're not sure what it is.
Okay. Well, to be fair, we did come across other people like ourselves who are out in an attempt to explore these wildernesses. They do attract a particular type of person. So, of course, we may just be another group passing through. If they're not complete bastards, then perhaps they'll share their fire in exchange for a ration or two, a story and a drink.
Well, there is one easy method to figure that out.
Yes, the
Everyone here.
The hey you method.
Yeah, pretty much. I was gonna say, every one of you guys just sit back and, if I start running away at full speed, then they're not very nice.
I like this plan. Please go put yourself in danger.
I would like to be close by, but hidden. Is that alright?
Oh, please do. Oh god, this is gonna suck if they want to kill me.
I have every faith in you, and I'm sure you'll be fine. May your God protect you. Now go.
Get out of here.
Go on, get.
You want me to
Okay.
follow along silently and shoot them if they make a wrong move?
I think.
Again,
Well, that's
please,
that's what
please,
Tirhana's-
please do.
No, I believe one silent, stabby person would be more than enough for this particular adventure, child. Well,
Lamalthun,
yes, yes.
shut up and let them follow me.
So you expect me to stand here alone?
I'm here.
No.
Oh,
Come now, an old man like you can't be all that defenseless.
old man such as myself. I am, yes, just a humble old elf.
I don't
Out of,
think
Okay.
out
I've
of
ever
character,
heard.
that
I don't think I've ever heard you be humble.
out of character, that was a jab of Malathun because she's still pissed off. He convinced her to not escape from the jail, and because he keeps calling Yane child, so he's an old man now. All right, I'm
Fair
gonna
enough.
roll a stealth to be sneaky, so I could help out if things go bad.
And
Well,
I'm
hold on.
going to be.
Okay,
Hold
so
up.
Gar, Tirhana, and Yane are all moving forward.
So me and Susa. Hello.
Yeah, Yane, did you want to go or did you want to stay behind? Felt like you're kind of like on the fence there.
I'll stay behind because,
Okay.
Yane has not so great of the social skills.
Okay, so just
We're
Tirhana
gonna
and
socialize.
Gar then. All right, so just Tirhana and Gar then. So Tirhana leading the way, being one of the two guides of your party. She scouts ahead, and this path does kind of wind a little bit, and it's almost like if someone were to have set up, a serious defense here, this would be a good spot to pick people off, as there's some kind of denser trees against these hills, and there's some kind of like almost goat paths up that look like people could get up into these hills on either side of this little path you're walking. So you do both kind of stay low and making eyes up to the sides. Gar, you're kind of a little bit more lost as the human. You're like, I can't see shit. So you're kind of trusting on Tirhana here to lead you safely. And you take one more twist behind a set of plains trees, and you see immediately in front of you a small shack. Looks like it'd be like a 2-bedroom house, maybe. And then in front of it, probably 300 yards of, it's bordering between farm and garden. It's, it's not quite a thing you can tend in one day, but it's not, a true farm. And you see, like, the stereotypical signs of a farm or garden with, a very disheveled scarecrow, several crops growing up from the land. A small path winds up between the farm strips and leads up to the front door of this house that, while very old, still seems like it's in relative, care. It doesn't look completely disheveled or abandoned, and you do notice that there is a small plume of smoke coming out of the chimney on the top of it. As you get right to the edge of where the farm is, garden. I'm going to use those words interchangeably for this. You can smell the smoke at this point, and you can actually smell something cooking on that. It's definitely a cooking fire. Something definitely hearty, meaty. And you also smell freshly excavated dirt. And you kind of look to your right, and there's a small, what looks to be a freshly built, almost gazebo style kind of small overhang building. It's very small, and it doesn't have a platform at the bottom. Instead, it looks like it's encircling this freshly excavated dirt.
Freshly excavated dirt, like...
That's not suspicious.
So it's just a gazebo over freshly dug dirt?
Mm-hmm. And the gazebo looks like a relatively new construction as well.
How far away is it from us?
Not too far. Like, you could, while still being a good distance away from the house, not making your presence known, you could check this out if you wanted to.
Yeah, just to make sure that freshly dug dirt was just for, making the foundation and not burying things.
Sure. You move, kind of staying crouched, moving over. You still don't hear anything from the house at this point. You move over to this new construction, and it's very nicely built. Each of the small rods that act as support for the covering of this gazebo are very intricately carved from wood. And there's rose vines up some of them. There is birds taking flight carved out of the wood. It's top level craftsmanship. This is an artisan level make. And this is surrounding a patch of dirt that there is a hole, roughly grave shaped, a pile of dirt next to it, and a tombstone at the head of it that just says Eugene, husband, father, warrior.
Oh.
It's sad, but that is actually a very comforting sign comparative to what it could have been.
Or it's a fake lead to make it look like nothing nefarious happened.
Yeah, Gar's going to go with the fact that it's probably real. So, yeah, Gar's gonna kind of motion to Terhana. Okay, let's go greet the nice person, people, things.
Okay. So Terhana, are you gonna walk up with Gar, or are you gonna kind of stay in the shadows a little bit?
I would prefer to be in the shadows.
Okay. Give me a stealth roll while Gar walks up to the door. I assume, Gar, you're not taking any you're just kind of walking up normally to the door?
As soon as Terhana gets into position, I'm going to then just kind of suddenly be a little bit louder about existing.
Okay.
I got a 20 on my stealth.
Hide my presence.
Okay. Perfect. All right, yeah, Terhana, so you're able to kind of use the gazebo to help break up your form, and you lay low, and that combined with the growing crops in the field, it would, anyone looking from where the door that Gar is walking to, it'd be almost impossible to make you out. Gar, you kind of reset your position at the beginning of the pathway that leads up to the door, and any rags or anything you've been using to kind of dampen the sound of your armor, you take the time to take off, and you almost loosen your belt a little bit so that your metal clinks a little bit more, and you're using your spear as a walking staff at this point. You make sure to hit it on each stone so it makes the tunk 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 sound of someone walking up steps. And as you get about 10 feet away, you hear the very elderly woman's voice. Hello? Who's out there?
Sorry to alarm you, ma'am. I'm just a passing traveler. Myself and some of my companions were just hoping we could spend the night on your property, as it appears rather safe compared to the area around outside.
Yes. Eugene always said that this was a safe place. You'd be able to defend us, even in our old age and in retirement. But I must refuse you hospitality. Something has come up, and I don't know if I can assist. You hear actually like the small crash of something falling in there, and she, please, I hate to turn away guests, but, I must ask that you go on your way.
All right, ma'am. As long as you're safe, I'm perfectly happy to leave. If you would happen to need anything, don't fret to ask.
Oh, thank you. And give me a perception check.
Yeah, I didn't actually open my sheet. That would be helpful.
While this is going on, is it possible for Torhana to kind of sneak in outside of the house and kind of peek in to see
22.
like if she can see what's going on?
If you want, so where you're positioned at, you wouldn't be able to really hear the conversation that's happening. But if you wanted to independently kind of go and try if you can find a window to peek in, sure. Give me a perception check as well to see if you can find a window at least like on the ground floor or somewhere nearby that you could try to peek into. 14. All right, so 20 with the
14.
With the 22 Gar, you're kind of like, okay, don't hesitate to ask if you need help. And there's a pause before she responds, and you hear the small shuffling of, someone's feet as if they were moving, and then you hear boonk, boonk, like heavy weighted footsteps that definitely would not match a little old lady. Terhana, you are able to approach the house, and you kind of do a wide circle around, and you see that there's two windows, one on kind of each side of the house. So if the door's in the front, there'd be a window on the east and a window on the west. If the door's in the north, you go up to one of the side windows and you look in, and you see what looks to be kind of like a storage room. You see barrels of things that are marked food, harvest from previous bounties of their garden farm. But it's dark. You can't really make out anything in here. There's no lights. Then you swing around to the other side, and you are able to see into what looks to be like the dining room. And you see one kind of plate made up that has a fork and knife, and there's some vegetables and meat on it that have been eaten at. And then you see another plate that's at a spot that has no chair, and it's just raw meat on it.
Just raw meat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anything else.
No, you're not able to see kind of into, like, you can see like into the house, and you can kind of see like through the next door, the dining room. You see like stairs that maybe go up to the next floor, and you can kind of see like through the other part, like the other exit out of this dining room area, and you see like maybe like what might be the kitchen, but you're not able to make out any people.
Okay. I don't like that. Kind of want to keep going in.
You're gonna try to enter through the window.
Yes.
Okay. You go to open the window, and you see not only is the window locked, but from the inside, it's been like nailed down.
What?
That's not suspicious at all.
The it's like so recent, like the hammer and nails are still nearby.
And if I use strength to open it, the old lady will be able to hear me.
Yes, that would be quite a loud noise if you were able to somehow open that window.
Quick, get
Even
the stealth
for
crowbar.
someone as strong as Turhana, that would be a feat of strength.
But I want to be nosy.
Gar?
Gar is going to, since he currently has the thought that it's more like bandits than anything, just say, well, again, if you need any help, I, Gar, a paladin of Madriel, and my companions will be just outside your little area, if that is all right with you.
Oh, I appreciate it, but I don't think anyone can help. Go with Madriel, and may the mother's healing always bless you. She giving a traditional Madriel like blessing to you.
Gar's going to take a moment of pause when he hears, I don't think anyone can help. Do you need assistance? You don't think anyone can help with what?
Even one as you, so attuned to Madriel and the Holy Mother, I don't think you'd be able to help, but I appreciate the kindness of strangers.
Oh no, this is a guilting grandma. Oh, no one can help me. That's Oh, don't even worry about me. There's nothing you can do. Oh no.
Yeah, no, Gar's gonna fall for the guilt, and he's gonna start asking, Are you sure? There's nothing I can do to help you.
Give me a persuasion.
I can move the bookcase, Grandma. It's no problem. Like.
Oh, Grandma.
Hold on 1 second. Just
All right. I guess
my
because
computer is just being a little slow.
since
No
there's
worries.
nothing else for Turhana to do, because actually, you said it's from the inside, right?
There's my roll. There's my perfect nat 1. I've been waiting for it.
That's a Devon roll right there.
Wait,
Get out of here.
wait,
Get out this.
hold on.
Get out of the building, lady.
I got 2 votes last week. I want to use one.
All right, click that disadvantage button. 22. Much
That's
better.
Slightly better.
Slightly.
There's a pause, and you think that, and you hear a couple more boom, like heavy steps, and something else crash and fall. This one sounds valuable, or at least made out of glass. And she just goes, okay, you can try. Come to the back. All the other entrances are sealed.
Is this something that I should bring my friends with? For?
I suppose it couldn't hurt. No one's in any immediate danger.
All right, I will return shortly.
Okay.
And I quickly go back and gather the rest of
Trahana,
the
you
group.
see Gar retreat from the front door.
She
If you'd like to join him.
carefully goes back, not to get busted by the old lady.
All right, perfect. So the two of you are able to reconvene with the group.
And not get slaughtered individually.
So, I'm sorry, we're helping a grandmother move a bookshelf?
I'm pretty sure it's not a bookshelf, Lamalthun. And
I'm also pretty sure
I'm
something
shocked
bad
you're not
happened.
calling her a child, too.
No. You're telling me she's an elderly lady?
She's about half your age, if that.
But she's human, correct?
I'm about a quarter your age. And I'm an old man, too.
Yes. I look at, back at Yana and just like, we age differently. I'm not
Yes.
I'm not insane to declare that while you might be half my age, it's still old for a human. Yana is just a child in a few different ways for an elf.
You.
But anyway,
You're
back
only
to the
about 30
point.
years older than me. Okay.
Okay. Sorry, it was just really
But-
cute.
But centuries wiser.
Shut up and let's help this old lady.
Could have fooled me with how much you run your mouth.
I'm pretty sure something bad is happening.
Children, come on.
Why do we need to help this lady?
The inside of her windows are sealed shut. There's fresh dirt that has been disturbed on the property.
Okay.
I wonder if she has a
needs her
carnivorous
help,
plant.
and she needs our help, and she's got a nice place to stay in case we help her out. We might get rest out of this and a good, safe place. And we do a good deed. Come on.
Yes, Susa, I believe the term is this could be a decent forward operating position into the blood steps.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
I'd go into my military mode for just a minute and then kind of like back it up, just like, well, you see, when you're running an operation by enemy lines, you want to make sure you have safe positions in which to position your men, never mind. It could just be a safe place in which to camp for the night.
And it's a good thing to do.
Yes,
Yes.
it's also the right thing to do. Help the old woman.
Because that's what
If
we're
she is
supposed
indeed
to do.
old. I mean, we already did meet one woman that didn't turn out to be the right lady.
Susa has a point. She does speak the truth. Perhaps we should just kill her to be more cautious.
And
You know my
killing
position
her,
on murder.
but
and
killing her
also-
would be a mercy, wouldn't it? Putting her out of her misery.
I just put my hand up to Tarhana's face. Like, no murder. Bad. Bad kitty.
And she just like hisses at him.
God.
Let's go help this supposed old lady. As
Besides,
Susa gets up from the ground, leaving the mud people that she created on the ground.
Besides, the last old lady we ran into started out as a young, lusty lady holding beer. This seems a little more forthright than the previous.
Gar, are you hopeful that perhaps this old woman will turn into a busty maiden with ale?
If she's a worshiper of Idra, I guess I'd have to oblige.
Well, let's hope that you will have a reversal of fortune from last time. Carry on.
Okay. So the group of you make your way to the small house with the farm, and are able to walk up to the front door. Again.
Are they actually growing crops? I missed that part. If you
Yeah. So as you the path takes you through their farmland.
Okay.
You look, and it looks like they're growing a variety of crops actually. So there's some lettuce, there's corn, there's tomato, a little bit of everything, which strikes you as weird because
who's
even you,
Lamalthun?
Lamalthun. Not only that, but part of the problem of living underground is like knowing your limits on farming.
Yeah.
And you know that like there are different soil compositions are necessary for different crops to grow. And all of these crops do not grow in the same soil composition.
Oh.
So it's kind of weird. So obviously some sort of influence is going on, either whether it be by the tenders or by the blood steps.
I was gonna say, wasn't originally the blood steps made like almost infertile because of...
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I pick a tomato and detect magic?
Sure. So you cast Detect Magic.
And the world explodes!
And no, I'm just kidding.
Roll initiative.
As the killer tomatoes begin to attack.
Oh no! No, it's the killer tomato. Attack.
Side note, I really did like that cartoon as a kid, though. Just saying.
It was a great cartoon, yeah.
Magic within 30 feet of you. Faint aura around any visible creature or object. Can penetrate through most barriers blocked by a foot of stone, inch of metal, sheet of thin lead, 3 foot of wood of dirt. So a faint magical aura comes across the entire farm, the actual land the crops are growing in. They have been influenced by some sort of magic. Actually, the
school. If
you learn the school, if any.
If you know, which I will be fully upright with you. As a DM, half the time you bastards ask me that, I didn't know what school.
It is transmutation.
Okay, that makes sense. All right.
Sousa's armor actually radiates an aura as well.
Yes. So if anyone would like to, if they have any magical items or any magical effects about them, Lamalthun is able to see them. So if you had anything secret, you need to tell the audience / Lamalthun now if you have anything magical about you.
Tell me all your magic gear.
A magician never tells their secrets. Ha
Unless Detect Magic's been cast.
And then obviously the ring I have on my finger.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only magical thing I have on me.
Nay, what'd you say?
Well, are the boots magical?
Yes, they are.
Yes.
So, Yanae plops down and picks up their foot and shows it to Lamalthun.
Yes.
And then Gar's holy symbol gives off a faint aura as well.
Okay. Yeah.
And then as you approach the cottage, you're able to detect an aura inside the cottage itself.
Oh, like all around the cottage?
No, not the whole cottage itself. Somewhere originating from inside of it. You're not able to quite pinpoint it as you don't have eyes on.
Gotcha.
But you are getting an aura of necromantic magic inside.
I stop everyone and immediately go, everyone, there are multiple types of necromantic magic. Some good, some pure evil. Please be aware. The fields grow via magic, and inside that cabin is some form of necromancy.
So it's either going to be Hollow Faust, or it's going to be Untitled type.
You're so
Gotcha.
close. So close.
I
Glavito
forgot how
Tau.
the other one. Levito Tell, yes. I forgot how it went, and I didn't have time to look through my notes. Okay, so good or bad? Can you tell?
No.
Okay, got it. Well, the old lady's been having things break in her house, so I'm
That
gonna
would
say
require
bad.
Gar, someone who might be able to determine if something is good and or evil.
So not you. Gotcha.
Wink, wink.
And when might you be participating in these endeavors?
when we find out what it is we are actually seeing, because, yeah, I don't know.
Very well. On your time.
It's like
We
he
walked to
didn't.
the back door.
I had to double check. Fun fact.
Yes.
Spell Detect Evil and Good does not actually tell you something's alignment. It only tells you what type of creature it is. Just so you know.
And that would be saying that I had prepared that spell in particular.
Correct. But even if he had prepared that spell, it would not tell you if the thing that you're the thing that is the subject of the necromantic magic you can detect, it would not tell you if it is good or evil. It would just tell you if it is a aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, undead.
We would know. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's still helpful though.
Yeah,
Sure,
but
it does not tell you, if it's good or evil aligned.
Gotcha.
And I'm pretty sure we can tell it's something probably undead, because, necromancy.
It could be a necromancer.
Could be a necromancer with strong elements to it. It could be someone who's been recently resurrected, not technically undead, but technically influenced by necromancy.
That would be divine restoration.
Back from the dead, still necromancy.
All I'm hearing is it still needs to die. Again.
How are we getting inside?
I believe the front door, Sousa.
Back door. She said, meet me by the back door.
Well, you go to the front door and you're just like, ma'am, we're here. And she's like, okay, come round. And you make your way around the farm around the building to the back. And what looks to be just kind of a solid back wall. You see that she actually it hinges out almost like on a middle swivel that's seamless. While it's closed, it's seamless to the back of the house. When she spins it, you can see it roll out. And she's inside is lit. There's several candles lit, so you can see her. She looks, by all means, a normal person. She's has common attire for a farmer, so lighter cotton clothes. She has an ascot tied around her neck. That is like it's pretty extravagant actually for a farmer. It's definitely made of silk with a gold inlay on it. And she's just like, yes, please come in and do not be alarmed.
Alarmed at?
Well, my name is Hillary, and I would like you to...
jeez. Oh, I'm sorry.
That is a rather terrifying name.
And I would like you to meet Eugene. And she motions, as you guys walk in and the swivel closes, she motions to the room beyond. It's kind of like a living area. You can see the front door that has also been barricaded shut on her side. And you see an old man who looks relatively normal, except you see the hands are dirty. There's dirt underneath the fingernails, and they are shackled around the waist to the wall. And as you guys approach, it's kind of like not like aggressively, just kind of like moves forward until the chain goes taut. And just
I'll legitimately kind of flinch with concern, just like,
Eugene, Eugene from the front yard, Eugene?
Oh, you saw the grave. Yes, this is my dear Eugene. He passed just 3 days ago. Well, I thought he passed 3 days ago, but now here he is.
You buried him alive?
No, he was certainly dead when I buried him.
Remember the conversation we just had, Sousa, about the particular type of...
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yes.
So your husband just came back from the dead.
It would appear that way, unfortunately.
Would you like me to dispatch him?
Well, that is the exact conundrum I'm fighting myself. While I'm not sure if he would even feel the harm or even know that his life is ending once again, I'm not quite sure how much of Eugene is inside of this Eugene, if you know what I mean. I do not know what caused his awakening. I do not know if this is a resurrection or a summoning, if this is something the steps have done and caused anything that's buried out here, or if this is somehow something left behind by the great divine war that laid hidden in these hills until found by unwittingly me.
Susa has an idea.
Okay.
She looks very like, oh my god. Susa leaves
No.
and goes. She as soon as she says that, as soon as the old lady says all of
I'm
that
sorry,
stuff,
I did not mean to frighten your friend.
It's okay.
she
Susa
goes
does
out.
that.
Yeah, she goes out to the grave and looks down in it to see if there's any Titan blood.
Okay. Give me a perception check. Asathi have dark vision, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Give me a perception check, just a normal one.
12.
You look down in the grave, and you can see now that you're specifically looking for things, that the side of the walls have indentions of where someone would have climbed out of it. And you notice that the pile of dirt next to the grave wasn't dug with a shovel, but with hands. As you're looking in the grave for any remnants, it's a traditional depth, so it's about 6 to 7 feet down, and you're looking for anything that you can see. You don't specifically see Titan's blood, which you're specifically looking for, but you do see kind of what looked to be with your 12. What you really get, what you're immediately thinking is like if like someone had burned dirt. Like if someone had tried to set fire to dirt, which you're just kind of like that. You're not sure what to do with that. But that's kind of the immediate impression you get when looking in the grave. The only thing out of place besides what is obviously someone crawling out of a grave is the
Someone
immediate
trying to
area.
make clay. Yeah.
The immediate area where the body would have like been laying and rested looks as if someone had tried to set fire to that dirt.
Okay. She'll go back inside.
Okay. In the meantime, while Susa's away, Hillary's just like, so, I loved my dear Eugene. We settled out here long ago after he fought in the war. And this was our home. We made a simple living out here. I am a little bit versed of the arcane and was able to summon enough energy to make the land hospitable enough to grow food, and we lived off enough to sustain ourselves, and it was happy. It was just the two of us. For almost 30 years we lived out here. Peaceful. Somehow, something about where we are, we never had any intrusions, no bandits, no Titan spawn. It was a little slice of what the world might have been before the Great War. I knew it was too good to be true. I knew somehow, some way, in this world that we live in, you must pay for anything nice that you have, and it seems I have paid with this dilemma. I do not want to slay Eugene or whatever this creature is, if there's perhaps some way of saving him or saving him from pain, but I also don't know if he's living in agony or anything. I do not know what to do.
Can I make an Arcana check to, like, maybe scour through some of the notes in my spell book? And, like, while I wouldn't know the spell, maybe I have, like, some margin scribbles about, like, you know, oh, I heard this guy mention this kind of thing, and just, you know, Arcana.
Yeah.
See if I know what spell was used, or at least, like, at this point in undeadness, is there anything left of the person?
Sure. Give me an Arcana check.
Word.
Have you tried talking to him, giving him old things? Has he shown you any signs of rational thought?
I believe I got a vote last time. Yes, I got 1 vote last game, so I'm going to use it here because I don't like that 7.
All right, click that advantage button. She turns to you, Gar, and she's like, well, I know that it doesn't eat. I've tried feeding it. And I know that it can at least, it's not hostile. He's not tried to attack me. I just keep him chained loosely for his own protection more than anything, and for him to stop breaking things. And she kind of gets that look of like a wife on her face for a moment, of like, you know, chastising a husband, but then very quickly comes back, you know, realizes in the moment. But so he doesn't try to attack anyone. But I used to sing, and I've tried singing to him, and it looks like he might be listening, but it doesn't seem to give any serious mentions or tells of recognition. He seems to come when I call his name, and she goes, Eugene, and you do see it like turn its head to her. But I fear that's just at most a remnant of his soul. That is what I'm most concerned about. Is he in his final resting, or is somehow his soul trapped to this thing and he is not able to go on to the great divine? Right. With your 11, Malthun, you think for a moment, and you're like, okay, this isn't a traditional necromantic spell, because if it were, he would be an undead at somebody's control, somebody's behest.
Right.
This was clearly not a divine resurrection, as Eugene would be normal. You know, worse for the wear and very like sickly, and you know, survived the ordeals of death, but Eugene nonetheless. So it's neither of those things.
Does it seem like someone fucked up divine resurrection?
As part of your 11 and your divine, and also your detect magic going off, you're not sensing a divine kind of touching here.
Okay.
You do know there are with the oh, that's not where it is. 1 second. Let me look at my resource real quick. With the slaying of Mesos, who was the Titan of, like, he birthed all magic, basically. And when he was slayed, kind of magic gained a random quality to it. You do know that people can also create new magic if enough time, energy, study is put into it. These are known as true rituals. They require several spellcasters. They require a lot of energy, and they require a lot of concentration. But sometimes the side effect of a true ritual that does not go off completely as intended disperses magic just into the world. This could maybe be something like that, where this is clearly not a This is not a magical effect that fits nicely into any category.
Got it.
So you're kind of like, by process of elimination, you're like, it might have something to do with that. You're not exactly sure the process or what ritual, or this could be something completely new, but you're kind of leaning towards that, as it's not something clean. It's definitely something that was unintended.
Okay, so my notes here, nothing matches what's happening here. Combine this with the fact that we have a dead speaker. We have a god that has no purview over what's happening right now and needs us to be their eyes and ears. We have something going on. Titan worshippers out, a cult. If they're putting some sort of ritual together, trying to put together some sort of magic and pumping things out into the world, this could very well just be a remnant, a side effect, something of what they're doing. Or something else happening. It's the blood steps, who knows? But
you had these crops growing this entire time you've been here, for all 30 years.
Yes.
Perhaps something in the dirt has just, as you said, Malthune, the dirt itself has been infused with some form of life.
Right.
So you're saying,
shit.
Not only will this happen to me when I die, but I caused this. I am responsible for what's happened to Eugene. This is the price I'm paying.
You magically enhance the soil, is that right?
Yes.
Have you tried actually giving him more dirt?
I've tried feeding him.
No, not feeding him food. Have you tried giving him dirt? If this dirt is actually the reason why he's back, how long was he buried before he came back?
About 3 days.
Perhaps with more time and more soil, he might actually come back whole.
You might need to water him too.
She kind of half smiles at your attempt at a joke to lighten the mood. But what if it doesn't work? Then I'm back where I started, and what if it does work, but his soul is still not there? He's just a body being piloted by base desire.
I take out the tomato that I picked,
and
I kind of hold it up. I was just like, this tomato grows in your soil, correct?
She looks at it. She's like, if you plucked it, then yes.
I did. I hope you don't mind. I can pay you for it.
She looks at how it's just her now in here, and she's like, I think I can get by with one fewer tomato.
Okay, perfect. And I just take a bite. And I want to take like an extra big bite and let all the juices run out and like...
Are you doing a Denethor from Lord of the Rings tomato moment?
I am.
Okay. So the seeds and that almost water, but tinged with a little bit of red juice, just slides down both sides of Lamathune's face, and the seeds kind of stick to his bottom lip as he just...
and like just like kind of suck the juice out.
It makes that horrible sucking sound.
I kind of taste it. Does it have like just an awful taste, or just taste like a tomato?
No, it tastes like a tomato. So it tastes like a pretty ripe, good tomato too.
I say just like delicious and sweet, just like a tomato should be. And I kind of let the juice run out, kind of on the floor, trying to make the point like the soil is not corrupting. The tomato knows only to be a tomato when it grows. Eugene will know only to be Eugene if he grows.
Has Susa made it back yet?
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
You probably would have walked in right as Lamalthune's taking this bite out of a tomato.
Like, are we eating?
And then I'll kind of hand her the half-bitten tomato just to kind of like hammer home the point.
Well, then, I suppose my only worry that remains is what will happen to me when I die. Will I rise up like dear Eugene and be trapped to this mortal world forever?
Have you considered
Will
Have you considered a plot of land for your grave off this farm?
I wouldn't know where to go. It's not like I can travel these steps.
Well,
Have you considered cremation?
And how would I cremate myself, dear Paladin?
Well, I mean, you could ask someone to come and check on you every so often if you do.
Are one of you willing to do that? You're the first 5 people I've talked to since we lived out here.
Are you
just
planning
look
on
around at
dying
the
right
party.
now?
You look at her and she just kind of looks at her own hand. She is quite old, and she's a human. She's like 70-ish. She's like, I don't plan on going I don't plan on going in the next couple of days, if that's what you mean.
By the way, Yane is genuinely... Like, that was a genuine question from Yane, as was the statement on watering Eugene. So, she's not saying these... Wow, whoops.
Yeah,
They're
but she's
not
taking
saying
it as
these
like
things-
you're the jokester. She's just kind of
Oh,
taking
no.
it as that.
Oh no.
Well, ma'am, I wouldn't be against coming back out here every so often and checking on you. At the very least, if you're not gone, you'd have company for a day or so.
have you considered selling your farm? Fertile farmland in the middle of the Blood Steppes could go for quite a bit in your old age. You could retire to a nice community of some sort for people of a certain age.
Are there traveling salesmen that wander the blood steps?
No, but there are adventures and trade routes. You sit between the Ganges, the Grove, and, like,
She kind of looks at you and she's just like, and fully takes in the fact that you are Drendali, and she's just like, the Grove is the Queen's personal forest and a bit of a joke amongst citizens of the hegemony. Nothing grows there, and it is dangerous, and it is seen as a fitting gift for an aging king to give to a young queen, if you catch the drift.
Ma'am, if you don't mind, coming from, again, kind of just coming from where I come from, I believe you underestimate the lengths to which people will go for food and places. You hold something valuable here, whether you believe it or not, even in these dangerous areas. It's only an option. Obviously, of course, we cannot force you to do anything, and Gar's offering his hand to come and visit you every so often. But keep in mind, that is all. Do you have anything other than tomatoes, by chance?
She gestures to the stew she'd been making.
The rotten meat stew?
No, there's no rotten meat in here.
Oh, I thought I heard rotten meat earlier.
No, it's
raw meat.
raw meat.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, she was trying to feed him raw meat.
Got it.
So she looks at the plate of raw meat that he didn't eat, and she's like, I can make quite a good dinner for all of you. For all of the help and counsel you've given.
Great, perfect.
Trying to feed him raw meat. Have you tried feeding him anything from your garden?
Yes, I've tried feeding him just about every food I have.
That's the pickiest zombie I've ever...
I guess we should
Hey,
acknowledge...
who has the most brains here?
Yeah, is he a zombie? I mean, that's...
Again, as I've looked through my notes, it doesn't appear as though he's in the stages of zombification. He is somewhere between resurrection and undeadness. Somewhere in that gray area. Neither undead, neither dead, neither alive. Undead alive, perhaps? Also,
undead.
Also, yes, de-undeaded. Now, but seriously, you ran off in quite a hurry. Is there something you wanted to tell us? Perhaps we should follow up with what you found.
Yes, is this a grave situation?
God damn it.
Get out.
God
Get out.
God. Bro,
I immediately regret letting you guys level. I immediately regret letting you guys level up last session.
Well, you can take back Yene's level.
Oh my god.
No, I gotta punish the party as a whole to make sure you guys understand.
This is
you can punish the party by giving us their level.
No. Alright, Susa.
Yes, this is indeed a grave situation, as I went to inspect the grave. But I
trusted you. I trusted you to bring us back
as an actual grave situation.
I hate everything about everything.
So, Susa will explain in short length that she knows that things can be resurrected from Titan spawn blood. So that was her first. Like, they do it where she comes from all the time.
All the time?
All the time.
Wow, that's impressive.
That's how they make some of their bigger, nastier people.
Oh. Are you Titan blood resurrected?
No.
Would you tell us if you were?
You would know.
Understood.
Then she explains that she didn't find anything and that she found burnt, almost as if someone was trying to set fire to the dirt. But I don't know what that means.
Look to the old lady.
I did not try to set fire to my own farm.
It wasn't on top, it was down deep.
Was Eugene buried with anything?
No. We didn't... After what he saw in the war, he didn't want to cling on to anything from this material world.
I mean, if this was something magical related, maybe it's some type of residuum.
Yes, possible.
Is Eugene wearing shoes now?
You look down, no.
Were you gonna steal that man's shoes?
No, I was gonna put dirt in his shoes. See if he grew.
Very well.
Wait, does he have any clothing on at all?
Yeah. He's dressed in like a not quite a suit, but like kind of nicer clothes. And you see that he has a matching handkerchief, kind of like in a front pocket that matches her ascot. It's the purple silk with the gold embroidery on it.
Attire as someone would be buried in, per se?
Yeah, not quite a suit, but still not, the nicest clothes they would have as, farmers out in the blood steppes.
But no shoes?
Yeah, no shoes.
Shoes are expensive.
You look down, she's not wearing shoes. Like they don't go anywhere. You see one pair of shoes by the front door.
Yene, would you be willing to part with your pair of mundane boots?
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, am I supposed to say no?
You do what you think is right.
Well, at this point, Hillary has finished making dinner, so she asks you all to sit at the table, and pours into all of your bowls a very nice, hearty, delicious-smelling stew.
Like a tomato base with carrots and corn and meat.
Yes.
Nice.
It's quite hearty.
Nice. What an interesting farm you have.
Yes.
Where did you get the meat from, if I might ask?
And she's just like, well, and she kind of motions out to where you saw some trees next to the building. She's like, we have a couple of sheep that we keep.
Have any of the sheep ever died and then buried them?
She like motions. She motions to the meat in your stew. She's like, yes, sheep have died.
No, I mean, like, have you ever had to bury them whole?
No.
Wait.
So your husband... Did you ever bury any of their parts?
No. We use the bones to make new farming tools, and we use the meat to eat. We use the fat to light our lamps. We use the wool to make our clothes and our bedding.
Are there any bugs here?
Of course, there's a farm.
No, I'm saying, like, just out of character. Like, are there any bugs, like, in the area right now?
Oh, like in this house? Yeah, if you
Yeah.
took like a minute or two to look, you could probably find like a spider in the corner.
I'm thinking about burying a spider.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Gar's gonna, after the meal, find a spider, kind of crush it, bring out some of the dirt, bury the spider in the dirt, and stick it under a cup. Like,
Okay.
actually bring the dirt inside and stick it under a cup, and then I'm gonna tell her, as a test to see if this dirt is just bringing it to life. If it heals all of this spider's injuries, then perhaps your husband or you yourself might have actually found a weird method of completely overcoming death.
If we don't have to wait 3 days.
Oh
Well,
my
it's a
god.
spider, so it might be a little bit faster. Less to work with.
A fair test. I assume that your quest takes you further into the steppes.
It does, but we can come back.
Oh, can't hear you for some reason.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
I can hear you fine.
I can hear you fine.
Oh, I can't hear him. Weird.
Oh.
He just doesn't want to listen to me. He's
Oh,
tuning
okay, I
me
get-
out.
I got you now. I can hear you. That was weird. I thought for sure you were muted because I saw your mouth moving. I was like, oh, okay, all right. Sorry. Yes. What would you like to do? Or
I
sorry?
said, perhaps after we complete our quest, we can come back and see how this has turned. Our little experiment has turned out. If it has, in fact, come back and completely been healed, then maybe we can, in fact, bring your husband back to who he was. We just have to, bury him again.
What if the spider comes back and kills her?
That's
She looks
why
at
we have
the
cup.
little. She looks like the little cup and the fact that it was a tiny spider to begin with. She's like, I may be old, but I can hold my own against a spider.
But it would be a magic spider. And who's to say it does not change its size?
Well, Eugene's size did not change, and also he is not aggressive. So, and she kind of flicks her wrist, and a little bit of fire sparkles between her fingers. I might be old, but I still have a little bit of the arcane within me. Let's just say if the five of you had not been as kind-hearted as you had turned out to be, I would be able to hopefully hold my own and drive you off.
I think
Well,
you're
we are-
great.
Grateful that
Kind
instead
of bows her head.
allowed us to come inside and assist you with your current issues.
Of course, I was afraid that someone might try to take advantage of whatever it is that happened to Eugene and perhaps try to harness whatever power this is. And I fear that might end very badly.
Well, while we're on the subject, man, if you don't mind, since we are all now friends, You are an arcane practitioner. I am an arcane practitioner. Would you like to trade any notes?
I don't keep a spell book, if that's what you mean.
No.
This power came to me when I was a young girl, and
Sorcerer, never mind. Carry on.
what word is it that you use to describe me?
Sorcerer. You
It
are...
means you didn't have to study.
Yes.
No.
You are lucky you get to live the quiet, quaint farmer's life for as long as you did. Normally one with your ancestry. Chaos seems to follow.
Kind of motions to Eugene. Perhaps it just took a while to follow.
Perhaps.
All right, so you are all able to finish eating. Gar, you're able to do your experiment, and just kind of there's like a couch, and you're able to roll out your bed rolls inside her living room and kitchen area and stuff like that. But you're able to have enough room to sleep here for the night.
Okay. I will cast Alarm as a ritual before we go to sleep.
Okay. Anything else anyone would like to do before you get the benefits of a long rest?
I'm just going to do a prayer over Eugene to Madriel, in case it is just undead and he's never going to get better. Maybe praying to the goddess of life might restore some of his life fully.
Okay.
Just as I had explained last week, after Susa casts that spell, she doesn't actually lay down. She goes outside. And all through the rest of the night, all you guys hear is rustling.
Jeez. What are you...
It's not enough to. It's not enough to keep you all awake.
Yeah, it's like some hammering, some random rustling.
Mm-hmm.
But you do hear Susa exit the door and work. And Susa, it's one of those things where you cast your ritual to cast alarm. You had every intent and purpose to go to sleep with everyone else, but as your head goes to lay down, you're suddenly struck with this idea, and it just nags at you. And close your eyes and force yourself to sleep, and still, the idea is there. An automaton, but not like anything I've built before. No, don't have the correct materials. The soil is magical. No, don't have the correct tools. The farming equipment could work in a pinch. No, sleep. Must sleep. All good ideas can wait till the morning. But great ideas must be worked on upon now. So, you walk out and put your plan from brain to mind to your vision to actuality. The night passes. Susa, you do not get the benefits of a long rest. You take one level of exhaustion.
Yep.
Morning comes. You all are... Yes?
I was going to try to do one thing, but we can move on. It's not
Oh, yeah, no, go ahead.
Yeah,
sorry.
I was going to do something as well, but really quick, simple things.
Yeah.
Yes.
You go first, Lamathoon.
Okay. I was going to sit up just a little bit and just kind of look at Eugene, just kind of stare him down for a little bit, just kind of try to eye him.
Okay.
And just kind of look, Eugene.
The first time you say his name, he turns his head to you.
Eugene. I want to get him to try to make any sounds. Can he do anything sound-wise?
Okay. You kind of do the whole baby noise gambit to him, just goo ga ga ooh, just all the gambit of bass sounds, and eventually he just kind of goes,
This is a shot in the dark, and I do not expect this to work. But I'm about
Okay.
to take a rest, so fuck it.
Okay.
I cast Comprehend Languages.
Okay.
And I kind of just look to him, and I'm just like, can you talk to me? Anything.
Saying little meaning of any spoken language, any written language. You see?
He says, and in your head you hear,
Ah, fire, bad.
So you just it does not allow you to talk any language. You're only able to understand any language. So still like in Calastian, you're like
Right, but yeah, he obviously understands common
Yes.
in his name. So if he's trying to talk, like, I'm hoping to try to understand him
yes.
in any way.
So in Calastian, you're just like, can you understand anything I'm saying? And he just tilts his head the opposite direction. Which does not translate to anything for you.
Ah, bitch.
Good try, though. That's a good idea.
All right. With that,
Was a
I
good
will then
idea.
take my sleep. Or my
Okay.
my trance for elf.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gar?
And I'm just making sure to out loud say it. I am feeding my little flesh spider,
Aw.
Okay.
and I'm going
gonna
to
kill
go
that one,
outside, and I'm going to actually take a couple scoops of that soil, and I'm putting it in my boots.
oh, jeez.
All right.
Oh no! Oh no!
Okay. While you're out there, you do see Susa has gathered a large amount of the dirt for herself as well. A large amount.
I'm just gonna walk over to the mound of dirt that Susa's gotten. Can I take a couple scoops off of yours?
Smacks your hand. She doesn't even say anything, she just smacks your hand.
She doesn't even
Okay,
look at you. It's almost like she
fine.
has sixth sense, feels your presence, just goes, Psh. No.
Fine. Go over a little ways away, take some dirt, scoop it into my boots,
Okay.
walk back inside, get ready for bed.
Okay. Anybody else want to do anything?
I kind of wanted to be nosy and not be a good person and kind of like take something.
Okay, what do you want to take?
A spoon.
Okay.
Just,
Easy
I just
enough.
Just want to randomly steal a spoon.
There's a spoon just laying on the counter from dinner. Just take the spoon and it's like it's very roughly, well, not roughly. It's actually a pretty fine worked wooden spoon. It's nice. You can get like maybe a gold piece for the craftsmanship.
Excellent. Oh no, I'm not selling. This is my spoon now.
Lepto.
My spoon.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, Yane would like to gift their boots to the lady in the night.
Your magic boots? Or the boots you replaced them with?
I'll let her pick.
And you mean Hillary, right? The old lady?
Yes.
So right before everyone's about to go to bed, you're just like, do you want some boots? She's like, oh, that's very sweet of you, but I have no need for them. I don't go anywhere, and there is one pair of shoes that Eugene and I would share when we were working the farm, but I would have no use for them. I appreciate your gesture, but I think they'd be more well served for someone who clearly walks as many roads as you do.
Oh, but what if Jean comes back all the way? Then when you can work outside together.
I appreciate your positivity. And
Oh.
it is comforting to think that that might be a possibility that happens, but please keep them.
How worn out do the boots look?
They're like their
that-
one pair that they have.
Yes.
Not too like it matches up. If she said that they only use them like to go garden or tend to the farm, so they don't look super worn. Like they haven't. It doesn't look like they've traveled miles and miles on a road or through mountains or anything like that.
And how worn are the huntress boots that
Not at all. So since they're magical boots, they wouldn't show any signs of wear or tear.
Okay. And just for the sake of asking, Yune's original boots.
Probably like they would look like broken in, not like falling apart, but also not brand new. They'd look perfectly broken in.
Well, if you don't need boots, I do have, and correct me if you want this not to be part of it, I do have one pelt left. Pulls out like a little bitty squirrel pelt.
I could make a. I will accept your generous gift. Thank you.
I sold all the rest. Sorry.
Well, if there are any, and she kind of examines it. If there are anything like this, I hope you got quite a few coins for that.
Oh, I did.
Good. Well, just late, and this is a bit more excitement than I've had in the last couple of days and most of my life, so you'll have to
Enough to
excuse
wake
me,
the
but
dead.
I'm quite tired. She kind of half smiles again. She's like, I appreciate the positivity that you radiate.
Thank you. I hope you sleep well.
You as well. She goes into her bedroom and she closes the door. All right, so you all, now having done your little nighttime activities, are able to gain the benefits of a long rest. And we're going to take a very short break, a 5-minute break, because we did start late. So we're going to take a 5-minute break. And when we come back, Susa will unveil what they've been working on tonight.
Oh my god.
So we will see you at 10:57 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right. See you guys then.
Welcome back, viewers, to Skarn. Our wonderful adventurers have just finished up their long rest, in which they spent the night with a little old woman whose husband has mysteriously returned from the dead. And working through the night was Susa. You all wake up in the morning. The faint rustling, almost white noise of what Susa had been doing is gone. And as you are all slowly kind of coming to, getting off your bedrolls, coming off the couch, the front door bursts open, and standing in the sunlight of the fresh morning is Susa. Her arms dirty, slight blood on her fingers from just working so hard. Her scales glistening from, perspiration and the morning dew. And it's just it's finished.
You can definitely tell that she has not slept. Deep, glazed over look.
Gar just looks up. What? Did you not sleep? What was with your dirt?
I had stuff to do. I made breakfast. And she pulls out remnants of meat.
Lamb bacon?
It's cooked meat.
Fair enough.
Gar doesn't question it. He goes over and picks out a piece up.
I didn't need this part.
What?
Need this part for
parts?
what?
Wait, did you use this wonderful old lady's lambs for something?
Yeah, I needed some. I needed a shell. So what I did is I worked through the night, and I made it bigger and better and stronger.
Is this a battle lamb now?
So what did you make? What did you do? I start to walk outside.
Okay, I killed a sheep and stuffed it with dirt. And steel and wood. It's up on the rise.
What?
Susa, no. Susa, no.
As you guys start to walk out the front
outside,
door,
yeah.
you see Hillary is already awake and working the field. She's kind of bent down on her knees, and she kind of looks up. She's like, good morning, everyone. Susa here has been quite the hard worker. She was up before me, even.
Do you know what Susa has been doing?
Oh, she asked permission before she used anything of mine, which I appreciate. I must say, she is quite creative.
Okay. Susa, you could have mentioned that. I thought you had stolen and killed stuff without...
No, I wouldn't do that. And all you hear from the rise is, bah!
What was
Okay,
that?
you're gonna have to...
Hillary gets up from off her knees, kind of brushes off the front of her shirt. Oh, look, here it comes now.
You're gonna have to explain what exactly, as it starts to come up, that is... What the hell?
This is my new toy. My new battle friend. Brrr.
Susa, what the is your definition of
the
a
sheep
toy?
sound, the ba, it does go ba, but it's like he's doing it. It's deep, and it doesn't sound like it was recorded. It sounds like some piece of metal is like vibrating against another piece of metal and just happens to make the ba sound. So it's just like
It's very deep and reverberating.
You know, this shouldn't surprise me. Susa did this once with a squirrel.
What's this thing look like?
I made that one into a clockwork squirrel. It was already dead.
I know.
Yes, Susa, as this thing approaches, would you like to describe it to our viewers and your friends?
Well, I'll be totally honest, because that was the only animal around. I had to think on the fly.
Wow.
So this is not a. I even looked it up. This is not a small creature as a sheep would be. This is a medium-sized
It
sheep.
went up a size.
It went up a size.
It's as big. It's like it's 6 foot.
Yeah, it's like bear size.
What the
You made
shit?
Did you make a sheepicore?
Yeah.
It's as big as
So,
me?
so what? Like, what does it look like? Is it just a really big sheep? Is it metal? Like,
No. It still has some of its wool on it, but a lot of the wool has been replaced by almost what looks like metal shavings that are curled.
The battle lamb.
It is. It's a battle lamb.
So it has steel wool.
Yes, it does. It has steel wool.
Is it named Brillo?
I was gonna name it Brillo.
Oh my god.
Actually, I was gonna name it Mr. Brillo, but you can call him Brillo if you want. But yes, for everyone on the home side, allow me to read. Yes, so I have created a medium-sized construct with an AC of 15 and hit points. What was that? 7. What? 7 plus 15, so 22. 22 HP, and it is pretty much my protector when
Wow.
Turhana is not around.
Yeah, no, this thing is as big and as strong as me.
Wow.
Can we ride this thing?
I suppose.
Yeah, one person would be able to ride it.
It's actually faster than me too, so it's a fast-moving lamb.
What the fuck? What the?
I was hoping to find a dead carcass somewhere along, and I was just gonna use that.
Wow.
Susa, I have a request.
Yeah.
Never do this with a person.
I don't think I can. That would be a lot of work.
Susa, you just turned a sheep into a house sheep. Like, I don't even know what to call this thing.
Yeah, its
What?
legs are really beefy, almost wooden-ish, like woodeny sinew, and like where I've twisted wood. And its feet are normal hooves, but the hooves are sharpened.
You have a full-on battle sheep. Like, it's a war lamb.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
It's not lambs to the slaughter. It's lambs to slaughter.
So it has a battle cry.
I fucking hate I'm out. I quit.
See, this is why I understand why Sean hates us.
Oh god.
Yes, unleash the sheeps of war.
Sheeps of. Okay. All right, cool. Malvia now has no idea what the hell to expect from anything.
My reality has been crushed.
This is like a next level. Like, okay, I got nothing. Like,
Yeah, so as a veteran of several wars, you've seen
I've seen a lot, guys. Like,
you've seen war machines. Like you've seen the invention of the catapult, the trebuchet. You've seen large devices that spew alchemical fire. You've seen horrors unleashed upon dwarf and elf. But something as compact as this, made in a night, that seems as intelligent and as dangerous as it is. If there were 20 Susas, they could perhaps rule a small nation with the power that is within this construct.
Interesting.
Look over to Terhana and say, "And you protect her."
Yes.
Times from myself.
Now that makes sense.
I'm feeling a little sheepish.
I need to go back to bed now.
But I made breakfast.
I was gonna say, no time, Gar. Eat up.
I'll eat his share if he doesn't want it.
I'll sleep
on
on the sheep.
We're on the lamb in an hour.
Here we go. It's the rest of the campaign.
Sorry, it was a really bad joke.
You did this,
The
Dwayne.
next person, who makes a fucking pun somehow relating to sheep, lamb, or ba, or anything revolving this construct, I will smite them down.
Will we be kicked
What
out
if-
of the game?
Don't try it.
What
try
if
it.
it comes out? What if it happens
Don't
by
test me.
sheer luck?
Sorry, Patrick.
Nope.
We
Nope.
won't-
All right, Devin, you're the first one to get smited. And a lightning bolt falls from the sky. Gar is incinerated into a pile of ash. And you're all like, and your memories are altered to where you don't even remember Gar. Gar never existed in the first place.
I was under the sheep.
Good. Lightning rod.
I've been
Even
fleeced.
worse.
I've been fleeced.
Okay.
Alright. No more pulling the wool
Anyway.
over his eyes.
Okay. All right. Zach.
You fucks.
Oh,
We're going to
Chad.
continue.
Chad,
Yes.
I love you guys so much. Chad is on our side.
Make a more serious 5e campaign, they said. Your players will like it, they said.
Hey, Patty.
Reverts to
Bah
puns.
humbug.
Ugh, that one hurt me.
Okay. All right.
You guys were the black sheep.
Okay. God.
Please continue, Patrick.
No, keep going.
No.
This is great.
So, we.
Zach, you're an ass.
Zach, you bastard! We're trying to move on from this.
No. Get it all out now.
No.
Get it all out. Nope, keep going. I'm sure there's more.
It would really behoove us to continue on our journey.
See, why couldn't you have given me like a camel or
Patty
something?
is just adding fucking monsters to what's about to attack us.
I do.
over
I see
the-
him writing.
over the next
I-
hill.
Are we gonna start calling it lamb chop now because this is the pun that never ends?
Oh
Oh
god.
my god.
Okay, so we just keep ramming into this.
Okay. So, we finish eating breakfast. We tell the old lady good luck on burying your not quite dead husband.
Wait, should we help her?
No, she's not burying her husband yet. She's testing out the experiment of if the crushed bug comes back whole.
Well, I would say at this point, Gar, we have given her the majority of our insight, our knowledges. We have set up a experiment for her to follow. She seems capable enough as a sorcerer, one of natural arcane abilities. She'll see if the spider comes back, and she'll be able to move forward with her husband. And as you've so declared, you'll be visiting her next month to make sure that she's okay. So we do have other pressing matters. We cannot hold her hand through this. We have given her our time, deservingly so, but it's time to move
Actually,
on.
I was planning on coming back on the way back, so yeah, a couple days, maybe.
I appreciate the vote of confidence in us.
Well, I mean, it's now more a vote of confidence in Zeus's weird mechanized sheep making abilities, too.
I can only do one. I can't make like.
Thank the gods.
Well, are we staying
Let's-
or going now?
No, let's... Yane, Terhana, which way?
Johanna
Oh, God.
would like
Dawn.
to. Nice.
Dawn killed me. I'm
Should I
dead.
roll a perception or survival, Patty, to get back on track? Or can we just head on?
You still have the combined memory of where this location is, so you're able to backtrack through this path where Hillary was living, and continue along the general sense of direction you have to where this cave is. As you're walking along, I see 20 hits you, Lamathu?
20?
Yeah.
Shield, no.
Well, you would not know this was a coming. You would not be able to have the reaction of
I can't
this
get a
is something
reaction
that's
to being hit?
this is, well, I mean, you wouldn't know it's there until it hits you. So then shield wouldn't help you, right?
I mean, I guess that depends on how we're playing out. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Whatever. Like, that's what I mean, that makes sense. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Then yes, yeah. So my AC is a 16 normally. So yeah.
You see this about the size of a quarter, maybe, bug of some sort land on you and bite you, and then you're just like, ow.
Ow, my skin.
Just brush it off. About an hour.
Can I check that bug just really quick?
Yeah, sure.
What kind of bug is it?
Give me a nature check.
Probably fucking spiders.
I was gonna say,
With-
is it a
with-
goddamn
with wings.
spider? I got a
Spider with
16
wings.
nature.
16. You look at it. This does not look like any bug you've ever seen before. It's quite large, and disgusting looking. Almost if like you took a hornet's head and then glued that to like a cockroach body
Ew.
and let it fly.
Disapprove.
Is it one of those things where it's like it's interestingly something I've never seen, or is it just like, dang, this is the book?
It's kind of horrifying looking.
Okay.
If you're squeamish about bugs, like you're not thrilled about this bug.
No, but it's like big enough to like pick up and like
Oh yeah, no, it's quarter sized.
quarters. Yeah. So I like pick it up and I look at the bite on my arm and I'm like, son of a
It's immediately starting to swell.
oh, Johanna,
Give
child.
me a Constitution saving throw.
I don't feel well.
What am I supposed to do about that?
16?
Not bad. But you do feel pretty shitty. Like, you immediately start sweating more than the weather calls for.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely have a fever. But you're experiencing the chills. And where it bit you, your arm is starting to ache. And it's spreading. Like that, kind of that, where you get like a flu shot, that ache.
Yeah.
That's the same kind of ache you're getting.
So I'm holding the bug like in my hand, and I say to the two of them, like, I don't feel well. Ugh.
Can I roll something to check out
Sure.
his
Give me
bite?
give me a nature check.
While this goes on,
Trahana, you
I
take one
just-
look at this. Trahana, you take one look at this thing. You're like, that's not from the blood steps. I've never seen that thing before.
15?
15. Definitely a bug. Definitely venomous. Use the right one. And definitely looks like Malthune's not doing too hot. So you don't recognize the bug, but he kind of describes his symptoms, and you look at it, you're like, I could maybe find some herbs to heal this potentially?
I'm. I actually have an herbalist's kit on me.
That would definitely help you identify the correct herbs in this area.
I'm gonna
Gar
do
just-
that really fast.
Gar just looks at Malthune and puts his hand on him and says, "You're here, buddy. You're all right." And I do lay on hands for 5 points to cure 1 point or 1 poison or disease.
Okay.
You want me to roll another nature for?
No. Guard does that, and Lamouthin, you feel better.
Oh.
The site where it bit you is still completely swollen and nasty looking, but you no longer feel feverish, and your arm doesn't ache anymore.
Next time, watch what bugs are coming at you, man. That looks...
What if it laid eggs in his arm, though?
Well, then we could just remove his arm.
I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. What was that?
Oh, nothing. I'm just gonna
Nothing
keep an
at
eye
all.
out for some herbs to help your arm feel better.
When you look at
You're
it now,
doing
you're like,
great.
he probably doesn't need anything. He's fine.
Oh, okay. And then
With
thousands of
Gar
tiny
providing
eggs.
the spiritual healing, you're like,
Excuse me.
let that heal into him.
I hate to be the one to keep going back to this, but I do wish to point out something. You're saying watch out when bugs coming at me, and we're brushing this off like haha, very funny. But we have someone native to the Blood Steppes. And we have someone who has, I assume, knowledges of nature. I mean, coming from the Hornsaw, you see quite a bit. Yet neither one of them can identify this little bastard.
Susa, does a 12 hit you?
No, it does not.
A similar looking bug lands on your neck, and you feel it and just swat it in time.
Everyone wrap themselves up now, and we want to grab any extra cloth or anything that I can, and I want to literally start wrapping up any exposed skin that I have.
Okay.
Yes, same.
With the second one, you notice that you hear a slight buzzing and a bush, probably 10 yards or so off this kind of path you've been walking.
Okay.
You notice several other similarly sized things flitting in and out of the bush.
Ooh.
And it's
Ooh.
one of those move now.
Burn it with fire.
Yeah.
Fire might just agitate them.
Or kill them. Do something. Move.
Gar pulls out stick and says, "Anybody able to make fire immediately?"
Yane, does a 14 hit you?
No.
How about a 15?
My AC is 15, so...
Okay, so 2 land on you. You swat one, and then the other one's in your hair, and you can feel it take a bite into your scalp, and you swat it through your hood, and you're able to get it and fall out. Yeah, there's a bit. You now have a big lump on your head, and it's kind of same symptoms: feverish, chills. Your head is aching really badly. Feels like someone punched you in the face.
How about we go away now?
Yeah,
Yes,
I think we should
I
go
cast
out. Around.
Expeditious Retreat
Ow.
on myself, and I tell everyone move away from that bush.
I lay on hands Yane really quickly and then bolt.
Okay. Now that you have said that you have moved quickly from bush, the bugs are no longer following you. But and Yane, with garland in his hands, you feel better. Once again, you have a nasty little welt on your head, but
The tiny little newborns are gonna come crawling out of.
nah. But you don't feel concussed.
And I look at Yane and I say, "Can you shoot a fire arrow from here into that bush because it doesn't
Sure,
necessarily
and make them
work.
angry.
See.
What if they can survive fire?
Let's not risk an entire prairie fire. Let's just perhaps, move on. Bugs are bugs. We can't kill every insect in the world.
Those might be like a brand new species of murderous things. Let's just... I look at the two of you that got bit and I say, let's just... They're bugs. They're disgusting.
Does the weevil not serve its purpose?
Do you really want this weevil to be bred throughout the entirety of the world?
I know nothing about this particular bug. I know literally nothing other than it bit me when I got close to a bush. Yes, I'm angry. Yes, you were able to heal me. Yes, my arm still hurts like a son of a bitch. Let's just move on. We can't control burn that area. If we have the child fire into that bush, I kind of pick up the dead, dry grass that makes up the blood steps.
Mm-hmm.
And I toss it up into the air. Where does that fire stop?
Dead bugs. Alright, fine, let's go. I look at Yane and
Out of
again.
game, I'm just imagining like Far Cry 2, when you could just set the entire map on fire pretty easily.
Just imagine all the XP, man.
Oh, give me that beautiful, beautiful wildfire XP.
We killed the goblin boss and we didn't even do anything.
That's one way.
Okay.
That's one way to get at
Yeah.
the horn saw. We'll burn down the blood steps. Oh no.
So when he says horn saw again, Yane
that one
creeps
was out
up.
of character, but okay, sorry.
Okay, fine.
But from
Thinking about the first time you said horn saw, Yane goes up, hugs your arm, right where the bite is, and squeezes really tight.
It hurts.
You know, I really, really would appreciate it if you said the actual name of the forest. Shall I remind you what it is? Hugs tighter.
So mean.
we have maps, right? Like,
I don't think
General-
we actually said we brought any maps.
well, like, I mean, we have to have like general.
Do you need a map?
I'm just curious if there's one that exists between our party.
I mean, yes, but not. You would not have a detailed one of the blood steps.
Not looking for a detailed map at all. I want
Then
a.
yes.
I want
Yes.
like one
At
step
least
below.
one of you would have a world map.
Yeah, one step below what we're looking at in Astral. And
Yeah,
and,
it would
and
probably-
everyone knows exactly where I'm going with this
Yes.
already. And
The
I
map would
unfurl the
probably
map.
cover, like, the northernmost part of the map would probably be the horn saw and the blood steps, and then you'd have everything south of that.
Okay, so I unfurl the map. Ow, my arm. Ow. Excellent. Okay. Child, I have a question for you. What is this area on this map directly northwest of New Veneer? They point at the map.
Broadreach.
Ah, but that's not what that word says.
Oh, funny. I can't read.
Ah. That makes so much sense. And I'll close the map.
But I can tattoo. Gives your arm a parting squeeze. As tight as
Ow.
possible.
And I'll mutter under my breath.
And then slinks away.
Under my breath, I'll say, so they tattoo in the Broadreach.
Hmm.
Only when you want something.
You continue along. once again, you're not on any like real path or trail at this point. You're kind of just following Yane and Tirhana's guidance, where you're just walking through, blazing your own trail, which is why they both kind of give you the, hold up hand signal. And you can see up ahead about 70 yards or so what looks to be the remnants of a wagon on the side, kind of pushed up against some brush. It's missing two of its wheels. It looks like the top kind of where the top canopy part of it would be is gone, and it's flipped on its side so that the bottom of it is facing out towards you. Yeah. That's what you're able to see from here.
Wagon bottom facing out towards us.
And the wagon, and you can tell from even here, the wagon is quite old. The wood is rotted.
So this is not a new crash.
Okay,
Yeah, this wasn't like this wagon just like toppled over and something bad. Like this wagon has been here for a year, maybe longer.
Wow. Okay.
And it's unaccosted looking? Aside from
I mean, it's missing a few. It's missing a couple wheels. The top part of it is gone, and you can actually, even though it's, you can see like it looks like it's been moved where it's because it's directly up against some like thick looking brush that has like brambles and stuff in it.
I think we should just move past it. There's nothing of use here.
Well, shouldn't we at least look and see if there's anything in it?
It's rotten and destroyed. What good would there be?
Well,
Maybe
not
something was
everything.
preserved.
If there happens to be magical items, I look at Yune's boots. Not everything rots.
I guess.
Perhaps the two scouts should scout for us and see what's awaits behind the wagon.
I can send Brillo with you.
God damn it. Brilliant.
Out of character.
Scrub it for anything useful.
Out of character. Does Brillo make noises when it moves? Can you make it be quiet?
Brillo can attempt to make stealth checks.
Yes.
I think perhaps it'd be best if Brillo stayed and kept you safe.
He does not have a plus to that skill. But he
Well,
does
he
have
would-
a
It would
plus
be
one to
a
dex.
plus one. Yeah, it'd be a plus one. So.
Okay.
So that's up to y'all. If you want to go a stealthy approach, or if you want to go a more secure approach with Brillo, it's up to you.
Sneaky sneak.
I am just gonna go straight forward, so maybe split diff. Tirhana doesn't see any threat whatsoever with this overturned cart. It's rotten, looks gross. So she's just gonna go straight for it.
Okay. Tirhana starts making a beeline. You gonna keep up or?
Yeah. Let me
Okay.
click this again.
As you approach,
18.
okay, stealth's not gonna matter too much because Tirhana's just like beelining straight to it. So there's gonna be a bit of noise on this approach. But as you get a little bit closer, you do hear a sound coming from like behind the wagon. It sounds like a voice almost, like someone speaking. And then as you get even closer to Hana, like where you're, like 10 feet away from the wagon or so, you hear was clearly a young girl's voice, and you hear the sound of metal hitting wood, and just, I've got you now, ha! Clack, 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 and take that, clack, and take that, clack.
What?
It's a child playing with toys.
Then you can hear that they stop. They can hear your footsteps, and they just shout out, "I know you're there! Don't let me come out!" And it's very obviously a little girl's voice.
Trahana just kind of like leaves her sword where it's at, but like pulls her dagger out very slightly, because you can never trust what's out here. And she very loudly says, "Perhaps you should come out." And like there's a very firm like authority behind her words. Not intimidating, but firm.
There's a moment, and you hear like a rattling, and you hear something come out from one side of the wagon. You kind of like, move a little bit to look at it, and it's like a barrel. It's like rolling, but at the same time, this little girl comes running out with a sword, just and like goes to like slice at you.
Aww.
Does a 13 hit you?
No, but it's so cute.
No.
She tried.
It's like, and like she goes like, she just has the sword like way like out of position over her head, and she goes to chop down on you, and you just kind of like grab her sword, like pick her up by the sword, and just like, really? She's like, ugh. She looks at the situation she is. She drops the sword, and she just like runs up and starts like pounding on you. Ah! I mean, it's not doing anything to you, but.
Am I able to tell what race this little girl is?
Yeah, she's a human. She's just like, get out of here! This is my spot! This is my home! Like, just still pounding on you.
I don't want your things, little one.
And give me back my sword!
Trahana just like very carefully gives it back. Perhaps you should learn how to properly wield such thing. It is
She
far
grabs it
too
from you,
big.
and you can tell it like it's a bit of an effort for her to hold it up. It's a heavy, like full sword. She's just like just a little bit out of breath and just like, wailing on you with her fists. Okay, so you're not here to hurt me. What are you here for? No one comes out here. This is my land.
We were inspecting the overturned cart.
Yeah, it's
We're
my home.
unaware.
What about it?
You are a spicy little one, aren't you?
Well, gotta defend myself. I didn't know if you're a thief, bandit.
We were just curious about to see what was wrong with the cart. We were
Nothing.
unaware of the
It's
loss.
exactly the way I want it. Defensive.
Where are your parents?
I ain't got none. I don't need them.
How long have you been out here?
A year.
Interesting.
How did you get out here?
She gestures at the wagon. Well, clearly I didn't pull my own wagon.
Well,
I was part of a group. Bandits attacked. And now, this is my land. I've claimed it.
do you have any food?
None ya. I ain't sharing.
I don't need your food, little spark. I don't need it at all. I have my own. Now, if you don't knock it off, I'm gonna knock you out and carry you back to the old sorcerer lady that we just left.
Trahana just kind of smirks because, like, She likes this kid.
Malsoon, come scare this child into listening.
I ain't scared nothing.
Am I able to hear that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trahana
I assume the
kinda,
rest
like,
of you walk up with
Yeah.
Yune's cry.
Yeah.
And you see this little girl, probably 9 or 10, with a sword that's way too big for her. But Susa, as you approach, you actually recognize that sword as serpent steel, which is, yes, that is the craftsmanship and the make of your people. And she just kind of like, still slightly like a little bit out of breath. And it's, like she sees all of you approach. She's like, okay, all right, what is this? Is it a shakedown?
trust me, little one. If I wanted to shake you down, you wouldn't be left standing.
Yeah, whatever. I might have underestimated you, but... And she, like, hefts the sword. I can take all of you.
Trahana very easily just kind of like pushes the kid down to make them fall on their butt.
Hey!
You can take me.
Yeah?
Try it then.
And you see her, like, move from behind her back. She has a small little hand crossbow that, like, it's built for her size. So, like, this dart would not hurt you. Like, it would hurt you, but it wouldn't do any damage. She's like, tricked you. And she shoots the thing, and it, like, buries itself into your forearm. You're just like, ow. And you take, like, what's the equivalent of, like, a toothpick out, and you're like, eh.
Okay.
So you were left abandoned by your family?
I wasn't abandoned. I was the strongest of them.
Clearly, you've lasted so long.
It means that the rest of them are dead.
Yeah.
I'm aware of that.
I know it's been over a year, but I would like to do a quick investigation of the wagon while the kid's being an asshole. And, like...
You mean while the kid's being a kid?
Yeah, exactly.
Where did you get that sword?
None of your business. Why?
That sword was made by my people, and they're not from around here.
Well, if you must know, I think someone that was part of my group was going to trade it or something. I don't know. It's mine now. I've killed so many bandits with it.
You can have it.
Yeah, well, don't need your permission.
What does the child do as Brillo makes his way up?
She looks at it, and she keeps on her front of, like, I ain't scared of nothing. But when she sees this, like, mechanical sheep walk up, she's just, like, you can tell, she's just like, what the fuck is that?
It just goes, brrr, and, like, starts to munch on some rock.
She takes, like, 3 steps back. She's just like, you guys
see
know
that
there's,
sheep?
like, a sheep over there that's about to eat you, right?
He eats bad little children at the snake lady's request.
Don't tell.
No, it
that.
doesn't. But she's, like, obviously like, oh, shit. Maybe
Please
it
be
does.
a well-timed ba. Please be a well-timed ba.
It should be. It just goes, bah, as, like, rubble falls out of its mouth.
It also doesn't like when little children lie.
I won't lie.
I want to. So I want to finish my investigation really quick while they're doing this to the child. So what happened to this thing? Like, I'm looking since again I know like tracks and stuff like that are not going to be there. It's been over a year. But what is the damage? Is there like sword like what evidence is still left in the wood of this wagon at this time?
Sure. 17 investigation. So you kind of, let them kind of handle her a little bit, and you sidestep a little bit to get as close as you can to the wagon without freaking like getting her attention that you've moved closer.
Yep.
You can tell that the wagon has some slight burn marks on it. It also looks like there's like the shaft of an arrow that's been embedded in it that looks like she's not strong enough to pull out of it.
Okay.
And the make of the arrow looks goblin.
Okay. Oh, got it. Okay. Interesting. With that investigation, would I be able to kind of glance around and see, does it look like there's any patch of grass that's growing a little bit more greener than what's around it? Like, did this kid actually kill a goblin and bury it somewhere, and it's fed the grass over the year?
With the 17, you look around, you don't notice so much, better vegetation, but you can hear the truth in her words, to where she's killed something before.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Like, her voice doesn't waver, it doesn't quiver. Like,
excellent.
When she says "I've killed," she's killed.
Okay. I kind of looked at I kind of like, I do the walk, up and down the wagon. I kind of run my fingers across some of the marks and, take the goblin arrow out to look at it. And I kind of hold the goblin arrow in my hand and I look at everybody else and I'm like, do you mind if I, for a moment?
She sees you like close. She's like, "Hey, get away from there. That's my house."
It's all yours.
Tahana, do you mind?
Rahana just kind of like, for whatever reason, is kind of like slightly attached to this child already, but steps away and like is close enough. Well, it's far enough where it's like, okay, Tahana could very easily like cut a bitch if someone tries to do something.
Yeah.
But it's still like giving the space.
Okay. So I walk up and I kneel to get eye level with the child. And I hold the arrow kind of up in front of her.
You look her in the eyes, and she just has this. She stares back at you like so intently, and like behind her green eyes, you can just see there's this fire, and this like she hasn't quite gone base instinctual, like animalistic, kind of savage, lost her social graces, but like there's a fire burning there that like if she is left to her own devices out in the wilderness any longer,
Yeah.
she's gonna turn savage.
Right.
But you can still see that there's just like this passion there. She's not, and she's definitely never seen a Drendalic elf before. She just stared you right back in your eyes.
Perfect. This killed your family. You've been here alone.
Yeah.
You want to kill them back, all of them, don't you?
I've already got a couple.
Just a couple? That's not enough, is it?
So, whatever.
So, whatever? No. Don't lie to me, child. You want revenge.
Maybe.
That's okay. People have gone out into the world with less. Here, hold on to this. And I give her the arrowhead, or the arrow shaft and head.
She takes it and she traces her head on the whole thing, and she cuts her finger real quick. She just. This is why I train. I train every day so I can be stronger.
Every day so you can be stronger. Perfect. Look at us. What do you see when you look at us? When you look back and I can see the fire.
You guys look like heroes.
Like heroes. Look one more time. And I look right back into her eyes and I would just, see if I can connect with her at that level of like I kind of drop any of the pretense of like, I'd say, look in my eyes. Do you think I'm a hero?
You look scared.
I look scared. Interesting. I pull out one of my mundane daggers, just that I have, and I hold it by the blade with the handle. Learn this first, then your sword. This can do just as much damage as that. You're young. People will not think anything of you. They'll think you're easy targets. Get close. Slip this between a rib. And then I'll hand her the dagger.
Kind of.
It feels better, doesn't it? And that hefty sword.
Yeah.
I look back to the group. We take her to the next drop-off point.
Of course.
And I look back at her. Do you want to start?
I'm gonna stay here.
You want to stay here?
This
How long
place has made
before
me
you
tough.
run out of food?
I can find my own.
There's not food for miles.
What do you think? You just don't know where to look.
So you want to stay here, fighting your rotting wood?
Rather than traveling with you. And she leans in again to you. Because you're scared.
Scared enough to actually keep walking and not staying in the same place forever, thinking I'm tough. Don't worry. One day you'll be just as scared as me. I think we can leave now. And I'll just ignore her from that point.
She kind of like leans up against her turnover wagon, looking at the dagger and like alternating looking at the dagger and looking at all of you.
Turhana offers to teach the little girl how to use the dagger as they travel to the next city.
I'm not going with you.
Little girl.
I don't trust you guys.
Well,
Sure, you
if you
seem
eat-
nice now, but I can't trust you.
Hey, you don't need to trust us. But you can use us. Just remember, if you want to get your revenge, if you want to, as you said, kill all of them, you need a bit more than I point to I gesture to the wagon. Rotting wood. One day that will crumble too.
You don't know me. You don't know anything. You're stupid. Ah! And she just like screams at you. And like the scream, like it intensifies in volume and pitch until it's just like unbearable. And you all like close your eyes, wincing in pain as just like these sound waves wash over you. And finally it stops. You open your eyes and she's just not there.
Awesome!
Yeah. Echoey, child screaming demon entity. Weird.
Did she leave the other sword? Did she take
Nope.
that with her too?
Nope.
Okay.
Tiny Titan child.
I don't like it out here.
Well, either A, she was an apparition of child left, or B,
Who left a child? I didn't
She
leave a
was-
child. What are you talking about?
Sousa.
What?
We were just talking about the gesture to the little girl that was just here.
Oh, I think. Oh, okay.
Do you have something you want to tell us, Susa?
No.
I look to the sheep as if it might answer for you instead.
I think perhaps it is best we move on from here.
But perhaps it was just a spirit that would not want to leave. We can come back on the way if we return.
Either way, I think Jahan is correct. It's time that we press forward.
Yeah. Come on, Brillo.
I just quickly look around the area and see if there was perhaps a corpse of anything else left out in the open.
Investigation check.
Let's see how good a one does.
You see 5
Yeah, no.
bodies. They're yours.
Yeah, no, a 4.
No, you don't notice anything new that Malfin hadn't really pointed out to you.
Okay.
As we're moving on, Trahana mumbles in her native tongue a soft prayer to Madriel to protect the child.
Trahana and Yune take point again. And travel once again quite a while. The sun is getting close to setting again, but you feel that you're closing in on your destination. You feel that you're getting close. You move through some dense brush, tall grass, and you just get this sixth sense feeling. You can tell everyone to stop. And you turn kind of 15 degrees to your right. Just all you move is your head. And you see this large, hulking, jet black, panther-looking creature.
Oh,
Larger than any panther you've ever seen, though. A faint, and you were looking at its face that's only 2 or 3 feet away from you. It has glowing orange eyes. There's runes carved into its body that are Titan speech. You're unable to make them out. Jutting out of it in several places is a sword, an old spear, but it doesn't seem like they've been stabbed into it, more like they're coming out of it. On its tail, it ends in a large mace. And there's just that moment where you close your eyes in acceptance that this predator has bested you. When swooping out of the air, and you can smell it right before it strikes on this large panther-like creature, is this greenish, sickly. From what you can see, the quick blur, just a body, wolf-like in appearance with wings, that just dives and tackles right into this panther creature, and they tumble out into the open, out of the tall grass. And you all remain motionless as the two monsters fight one another. The panther, momentarily forgetting about you, rolls around, squares up, sees the wolf come in for another diving attack, and moves out of the way this time. And you see these two giant creatures trade blows with one another. Anytime the winged wolf gets close, the panther is able to jump up, snatch, scratch with its claws, but the wolf has the advantage of being able to dive and strike away. You see that it is actually, anytime that its claws pierce the skin of this panther, you can see it leaves bubbling, oozing wounds that you know that even if the panther were to survive this encounter, it will die slowly after.
I don't want to be here.
Shh, be quiet.
Up.
The monsters keep fighting one another. And finally, the wolf, knowing it's getting close to its victory over this panther creature, gives off a terrifying, frightful howl. Everyone give me a wisdom saving throw.
Here.
I'm going to use my vote from last week to make sure I survive this.
I'm going to use the other one I've got and do the same for advantage, because I don't like that 8.
Okay.
I
Everyone, just let me know what your final number is. There's a flurry of
reroll.
things in the chat here.
And I re-rolled an 8.
I got
rolled
a
an 8 and re-rolled an
19.
Okay, so 19, 8,
10.
10.
I got a 12, and I'm deciding if I should re-roll it or not with a vote.
Do it.
got a fucking 23.
It's, yeah, I do. It's the end of the
Nice.
night.
I need to roll for Brillo.
Oh my god, he gets a wisdom save too.
He's just like, I mean, technically he's
Yeah,
a
he's-
companion.
That was worse than a 12.
Is this charmed or
This would be
fear?
fear.
Okay.
It might be immune to fear. It's a construct.
I rolled a 6.
He is actually not immune to fear.
Oh, okay.
Alright, I gotta roll this with my happy dice.
What was your number, Yune?
The re-roll was a 6.
So what was your higher number?
12.
12. Okay. So Gar, Yune, and Lamalfoon fail.
Brillo rolled an 11.
Brillo fails as well. All of you are frightened. So even though you weren't already moving, just this wash of pure terror as the panther, having taken so many blows already, is low to the ground. You see it breathing heavily. You see one of its legs isn't working quite right. Its tail low to the ground, not able to keep the energy up to use it in an attack position. And the wolf lets loose this howl that just chills you deep down to the bone. And it does a swoop down, picks up the panther, and along the way you see it just drip this horrible concoction of saliva and acid and poison, whatever was making up, and it falls towards you, Lamalfoon. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, no. Oh, God. 11.
Okay. And it just drips all over you. You feel a concoction
Wait. I'm going to use my War Wizard ability, use my reaction to bump that up by 4 for a 15.
Still not quite enough.
Oh, okay. All right.
Good try, though. And you just feel this combination of ichor from that panther and acid and bile and saliva and just whatever else was a mixture of the commingling of those two Titan spawns' blood with saliva and whatever naturally that wolf was producing. And it just falls on you. And you feel some of it like sink into your skin. You feel a bit of it like drop into your ear. And just this horrible feeling comes over you. And you all see Lamalfoon collapse down onto the ground. And you can see that he's going into shock.
Oh no.
And that's where we'll end it for tonight.
No!
You're gonna die.
God!
As this whole thing is happening, Gar is just sitting there, pale-faced, shaking, and not going anywhere. Doesn't even notice Lamalfoon. He's just fear-struck.
Yeah.
So even the
fear.
ones that pass the check are fear-stricken?
No. If you
No.
passed, you're good. And as the
Okay.
wolf flies away, the fear you're no longer feared. It was just, yeah.
Oh,
But yeah.
second.
But now we must leave our adventurers as they contemplate their next steps and how they will continue to navigate this perilous world that is Skarn. We'll have to wait until next week to see what happens.
Oh.
It's been a pleasure telling the story to you, listener. We hope you enjoyed what you saw and heard as much as we enjoyed performing it for you. Thank you for watching and listening, and to our Patreon supporters, Weapon M, John Arnetto, and David. Let's hear from our players now. Once again, your name, handle, character, and where people can find you outside the internet.
I am Dwayne. Find me at Made of Kimchi on the internet, and tonight I was playing Sousa along with Brillo. And the next time you guys will find me will be tomorrow, doing the backer kit for Deviant the Renegade. Radiation burns.
Hey everybody, I've been Yune, and I am ever You can find me all over the internet as Changeling Ever, and you can check out my Slimpick and Zetsy store. Neat and Co Designs. Neat as in those are really neat face markings, Ever. Great job. And wait, do we? No, we don't do votes yet. Okay. Next.
Hi, I'm Pinky, and tonight I was Hannah, and you can find me all over the webs as Pinkie Pie 88. Next time you can find me on this Vorpally channel at the Vorpally Times. It'll be on Wednesday with Infinity with Baseball Pajamas.
Hello, everybody. I am Steve. Tonight I played Lamalthum, and you'll find me here next week going but before then, you can also find me here on Sunday, where we will be playing our first full session of Mage the Ascension. Hopefully, might have a little more rules, but hopefully we can dive into our characters. And then on the internet at Little Arcade. Thank you.
And I am Devin, and I'll be back here next week on Friday. Unless I am murdered by Patty.
Count on it.
You know I can mute you, right?
It won't change anything. I'll make puns that you won't even be able to stop. But yeah, I'll be here again on Friday for the next session.
Thank you all. I have been PattyShakes_. And it'll be another week before you'll be able to find out what happens to our lovable rapscallions. But in the meantime, I encourage you, please watch other Vorpal shows, which include tomorrow, Deviant the Renegade Radiation Burns. Sunday, Mage the Ascension. Monday, Cyberpunk. Tuesday, you'll see me, GM Scion Dragon, the Kickstarter on its path has released alongside its sister expansion, Mythos. Wednesday, Infinity. Thursday, Kimchi's Grimdark Chronicles. And once again, Friday next week, same time, same place, same awesome Scarred Lands, Dracogenesis, Titans Lament with this wonderful crew right here. Now for the true fans, we shall vote.
Really quick?
You may.
Okay,
You may.
Because you just broke me. Because the way you said radiation burns didn't sound like you were saying, like, radiation burns. It sounded like you were saying radiation burns?
Question
Sure.
like you were informing us that radiation in fact burns. And
Maybe?
Maybe.
Okay, I had to say that. Okay.
Science.
All right, true fans. Our players will nominate one other player, but new to Vorpal Tales, you, the audience, can vote for your favorite player as well. You should tally the votes in chat after we sign off and award our players appropriately. And it's definitely time for to get off because Kimchi's camera just broke on us. So that's how you know. It's when it's time.
I actually accidentally hit the stop video button when I was opening up Zoom.
This guy. All right, well, yes.
On the laptop, sorry.
In the usual order, please vote for somebody.
That would be me. And I hate everyone tonight with so many puns, so I will give it to Devin for the most annoying puns.
Ha!
Don't reward that. Don't encourage that.
Well, everyone had good ones. I'd say his were the most annoying.
Truth. And since in my opinion no one bested the fact that in our private Discord chat Pinky called the zombie husband before we saw the zombie husband, I gift you a gift of point.
I gladly accept this point, thank you. And I take my spare point, and I give it to Malathun. Partly because you stole my thunder, my dude. Because I was gonna give my dagger to the little kid, but you're like, I'm gonna be big and point an elf guy. So, yeah.
I'm so sorry, I'm sorry.
But it's okay. I forgive you, Steve.
That is me. Man, we really went hard on the puns for a while there. So I think I have to give it to the causer of puns. made of kimchi, for stuffing a sheep full of dirt and steel
The
wool.
sheeps of war.
Brillo. God, just all of it. Just you beautiful bastards, you. Take my point.
I mean, I'll be
beautiful
honest.
bastard.
I was gonna think of something hopefully much cooler, but then when Patty was like, "Yeah, there's sheep," and I'm like, "Well, if that's the only animal around, fuck it, we're going with sheep."
I think it's perfect.
And I will make it all around. Everyone gets a point by giving one to Yane for being super serious, but being treated as the jokester of the party by the old lady.
That was awesome.
Oh. They had questions. They had statements. They had ideas. They failed.
All right. Well, yes, all those moments and more were quite amazing. We hope you enjoyed our story tonight. We look forward to seeing you next week, same time, same place, to continue this tale. Until next time, may Corian light your way. Stay safe, stay awesome, stay adventurous, and make good choices.
Give daggers to children.